without compromise. Educating you without compromise.
Good day, students. This is Afeademola Johnson, your biology tutor, now with Ss1 students, still on characteristics of living thing. We are just concluded movement. We are going to respiration. In your primary school days, you were told that respiration means taking in of oxygen and taking out of carbon dioxide. That definition is a babyish definition. But we are still on the line because the oxygen you take in, but when you eat your food, the food becomes digested in your alimentary canal, in your intestine, and leaves your intestine, the end product of digestion like glucose from carbohydrate, amino acid from protein. They leave your intestine and get absorbed to the bloodstream in the liver. And from the liver, they are distributed around the body cells. And when they get to the body cells, now the food now needs to break down the second time, apart from digestion now to give you energy. And that is why we define respiration as the breakdown of food in the body cells in order to liberate energy. So respiration is the breakdown of food in the body cell in order to liberate energy. All living things carry out respiration because they need energy. So take note, all living things carry out respiration to get energy required for what? For growth and survival. So then, apart from respiration, it is Mr. Niger, then we have nutrition. Nutrition. When we're talking about nutrition is the ability of an organism to produce or take in food, to produce its food or take in food. So nutrition, which sometimes can also be called feeding, is the ability of an organism to produce or take in food. Now, there are two types of nutrition. There are two types of nutrition. What are they? These are, number one is autotrophic nutrition. And number two is heterotrophic nutrition. Now, what is autotrophic nutrition? Now, when we're talking about autotrophic, when you come across the word automatic vehicle, autobiography, auto means oneself. It's a Greek word that means oneself, something that is happening by itself without the effort of an external agent. An automatic vehicle can change its own gear by itself. When you say autotrophic, that is the ability of living things to produce their own food themselves. And organisms that undergo autotrophic nutrition, which are mainly plants, are called what? Autotrophs. So, autotrophic nutrition is the ability of an organism to make its own food. So, organisms like plants which undergo autotrophic nutrition are called Autotrophs. So that's to tell you that autotrophic nutrition is usually common to plants. Then the next one is heterotrophic. Nutrition. When we're talking about this one, this is the ability of an organism to depend or to feed on already made food of other organisms. It is common to animals, which are also called heterotrophs. So any organism that undergo heterotrophic nutrition is heterotrophs. We cannot make our own food. Animals cannot make their own food, but they depend on plants and other animals to feed. That type of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. Now, apart from nutrition, we have irritability. 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 This is the ability of living things to respond to stimuli, plural, stimulus. Now, to respond to stimulus, what is stimulus? A stimulus is anything that can cause a distraction, anything that can call the attention of a living thing to respond. If I stand here now and I see a snake coming towards me, that snake is a stimulus because I rather run towards the snake to kill it or I run away from my dear life. So that thing is changing my reaction. That is stimulus. But if it is a stone that is just there, even though the snake cross over the stone, the stone will not do anything. It cannot respond because it is a non-living thing. So apart from irritability, we have growth. Growth is the irreversible increase in the body size of an organism over time. When you were newly born, you were a baby. You are very young, very small in size. But now, tell us 10 years back or 20 years back. But now your body is increased because you are growing. But we say irreversible. This word is very important. Because as you grow, you can no longer become small. You cannot reverse it. So, and there are two types of growth. There are two types of growth. These are, we have apical growth, and two, we have intercalary growth. Now, what do we mean by apical growth? Apical growth. This is a type of growth that only concerns the tip of the shoot of plants. If you look at plants generally, you will see that some leaves are light greenish, while some are, those ones that are the tip, they are light greenish. If you uproot a plant, look at the root. At the tip, the tip is whitish brown, while the other part is what? Is dark brownish. So new new cells are developed at the tip, and that kind of growth is called apical growth. Then we have intercalary growth. This is a growth concerning all body cells at the same time, at the same rate. It occurs in animals. As I grow, my leg will grow, my hand will grow, my nose will grow, every part of my body will be growing together. It's not that one will grow and the other one will be waiting. So this one, so intercalary growth happen in animal, while apical growth happen in plants. So that is growth. Then the next one is excretion. Excretion. When we're talking about excretion, this is the removal of harmful waste products of metabolism out of the body cells of an organism. You cannot define excretion and say excretion is the removal of harmful waste products. It's not correct. What I've just defined is ejection. The harmful waste product can be of metabolism. What is metabolism? A biochemical reactions that happens to food in your body cell. When you eat, digestion takes place in your intestine, and the food is broken down. The broken down part of the food is taken away, absorbed from the intestine to the blood, and the blood takes it around the body. When it gets to the body cell, they undergo metabolism like respiration. Then the waste product of that respiration, of that metabolism, when it is now removed out of your body, then excretion would have been said to have taken place. But mind you here, urine is an example of waste product of metabolism, but physics is not an example of waste product of metabolism, because when food has digested, undigested food goes to large intestine and they are removed through the process of ejection. And that product, that physics, the food has not got into the body cells before the waste product is produced. So physics is not a waste product of excretion. But urine is a waste product of metabolism, because the major component of urine, called urea, is formed from the metabolism of amino acid. Amino acid is the end product of protein digestion that is taken away from the intestine and taken to the bloodstream, and the bloodstream takes it around the body cells. When it gets to the body cell, excess amino acid is broken down. It's made to undergo a process called deamination, where it is broken down to keto acid and ammonia. Then the ammonia combines with carbon dioxide to form urea. Then the urea is now transported to the kidney to turn into urine. So you can see that metabolism has taken place on the food before urine is produced. Apart from that, we have reproduction. Reproduction. When we're talking about reproduction, this is the ability of an organism to give rise to young ones of their own kinds. Some things are very important here. Ability of an organism to give rise. Don't say to give birth. Not all organisms give birth. Plants carry out reproduction, but it does not give birth. Giving birth has to do with a child coming out through the vagina of the mother. Plants don't have vagina, but they also reproduce. That's why this word is very important, to give rise. And a goat can never give birth to a lion. Goat will give birth to his own kind. Lion will give birth to his own kind. That is why I know this word, to give rise to young goats of their own kinds, is very important. So all living things they carry out reproduction. And another one is adaptation. Adaptation. This is the ability of a living thing to develop structures or behaviors by which they can survive and reproduce in their natural environment. Living things that live on land are called terrestrial organisms because they have developed things that make them to live on land. Look at fishes that live in water. They can survive because they have gills that they can use to carry out respiration. If you jump inside a river, you'll be drowned because you are not adapted to living there because you don't have gills and some other things. So the ability to have developed properties that make you, that property are in two structures, two ways. They can be structural or behavioral. Structural in the sense that things that we see outside your body, or behavioral or your characteristics, inner qualities. So in the next class, we are going to look at competition and death. See you in the next class. Put the solution of your assignment into this WhatsApp number. I remain Afe Ademola Johnson. God bless you and bye for now. Thank you.
Educating you without compromise.